What's up, guys? Welcome back to Own the Hunt. This is part 2 of the 22 ARC build series. We're going to be shooting today. We're going to be testing 3 different factory loads, see which one's grouped the best. Stick around. Hey guys, so thanks a lot for joining the channel. If this is your first time here, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Helps me a ton, you guys. Before we get started on this video, I just want to give a couple big shout outs. Logan over at Fall Roof Shooters was kind enough to send me out this Arkin EPL4 6-24 power scope, you guys. Going to be testing the scope, letting you know what I think of it. But so far, pretty impressed. Very good clear glass. Just want to thank you, Logan, for sending that out. Let me test it for this build series. And secondly, guys, I just want to shout out all of my loyal subscribers. This channel wouldn't be possible without you guys. This type of stuff is quite a bit of work, you know, a lot of setup, a lot of takedown. I have to travel to find a range that I can shoot at, and I want to thank the generous landowners that let me use this range. So you guys know who you are, and I just want to thank you very much. All right, so on to this series, this part 2, guys. We're going to be shooting today the Hornady V-Match 62 grain ELD VT. We're going to be shooting the Hornady Super Performance 70 grain CX. This is a fully copper round, lead free. So anxious to see how this one performs. This is the most expensive of the 3 rounds, close to $50 for a box of 20. So kind of hope that's not the one that performs the best. And then we've got the Hornady Black, which is the 75 grain. This is running the ELD match projectile, and I've heard a lot of really great things about this one. So I'm expecting this one to perform the best based on everything I've read and heard, but I also wouldn't be disappointed if the 62 grain performed the best, because I'm a big fan of this in my 100 grain that I run out of my 6.5 Creedmoor. So we'll see, guys. Pretty excited. So first things first, I've got a target down at 57 yards. I'm gonna try to lay prone in the bed of my truck, you guys. It's a short bed at only 5.5 feet long. I've got an extra 2 feet or so with my tailgate. So see if we can't make this work. I've got a couple moving blankets in there. I don't have a fancy shooting blanket or anything, but so got a target down there, 57 yards. I just want to get on paper, guys. These are the absolute first shots with this rifle. So I want to get on paper, get it dialed in at 50, 57, and then we'll back up to 100 and we'll do our groupings with the different loads. I'll allow the rifle to cool before I shoot additional groups. I'm probably going to do 3-round groups, guys. I am limited on ammo. I didn't buy all that much because whatever one performs the best in this, I'm then going to bulk order that. And so I only ordered 1 box of each, guys. I prefer 5-shot groups myself, but for the purposes of this video and just to see kind of how this performs, I'm probably going to run 3-shot groups, and I'm probably going to perform multiple 3-shot groups. So we'll kind of see how they go. If you are interested in this build on this 22 ARC, I did build this myself, you guys. It is a full custom build. I did a full review and overview of this build on the channel, and I'll put a card up above for that video. If you're interested, go check that one out. I go over all the parts, all the specs, everything I did on this build, and why I chose what I did for it. After we get done with this, guys, I am going to put a thermal scope on this rifle and get it zeroed. But as you know, or some of you may not know, thermal scopes are a little bit difficult to get a super precise, repeatable point of aim. And so I wanted to do that with a precision rifle scope to find out which ammunition performed the best. I have a feeling that I would have a hard time determining which one of these ammo loads is the best by using a thermal scope. So I think the precision scope will get us the answer there, and then once I feel comfortable with that load, I'll run it and I'll zero my thermal scope with that. All right, guys, like I said, I have the Super Performance 70 round Hornady CX loaded up. I've got 2 rounds in here. As these are the first shots out of this rifle ever, I may have to tune the gas block or gas system in it. I'm hoping for a lockback after my 2nd round. I'm hoping for proper feeding and ejection out of my first 2. So we'll see how that goes, guys. I have the Garmin out here to get chrono info, and I'll read that out to you guys in real time. Let's go ahead and get started. Of course, I forgot my shooting bag, so I am going to improvise today with a vest and see how that goes. Let's zoom this baby way in. Just the parallax. All right. Very nice scope, you guys. All right, we got an impact. It is all the way on the right side of the target. Elevation's pretty darn good. Let's see, did we get proper feed? It looks like it. That's good. Go ahead and pop this round back in and see if we get lock back on it. We'll shoot another, and actually before I shoot another, I'm gonna make an adjustment on my windage. By the way, velocity, we got 29.22 out of that. All right, 29.44. And we are about halfway to the center. And a little high there. That could have been me, could have been the rifle, who knows. Did get lock back, so that's really great. So far, this thing feels incredibly soft shooting, which is awesome. I'm really impressed with this Huxworks suppressor. Very, very quiet. It's the Huxworks Ventum 556 flow through. All right, let's get some more data out of this thing. So I've decided that because I have limited ammo, I'm gonna use that last point of zero and point of aim for this first 3-shot group of the Hornady CX 70 grain. .29.45 on that one. And I don't see my impact. So it's either touching the other one. I'm not really sure. Well, let's fire this last one, see what happens. Okay, guys, interesting. I do see my impacts now, and I actually see all three. I'm not really sure what happened there. I don't know if maybe the impact that I thought was my second impact wasn't actually an impact, but I do have a 3-shot group. It doesn't look great. It's very, very far left. I must have way overdone it on the first adjustment, but we're gonna run with that group because I felt great with all those shots. So that's not a good group at 57 yards. Not impressed. Got 29.58 out of that for velocity. All right, guys, I just loaded up 2 of the Hornady Black. I'm gonna see where I'm gonna impact on this. I did make a quick adjustment on my windage, and I'm hoping I can bring it back into the paper and we can work on a better group here with this load. I'll read out the velocities in real time. I got my windage much better there. 29.42 out of the 75 grainer. First shot. That's a better group. All right, we got hold open. Let's put another one down range while the barrel's hot, and then we'll let it cool for the next group. That was me. Pulled that shot, guys. 29.28 velocity. Did not feel good about that shot. I'm gonna fire another one. That's too bad. I felt it right away. .29.17. Not entirely sure where that impacted. We're gonna have to go check it out. We'll let the barrel cool. We'll go check out that group. All right, guys, well, we're down here at the target, and as I suspected, this is not an impact. I saw this after my very first shot, which was this. Thought that was an impact. After my first shot, I made some windage adjustment, which brought me way over here, and I didn't realize that because I didn't even see those. I immediately just saw this and thought it was my second impact. But nonetheless, guys, this is my first group of 3 shots that I was actually trying to shoot for a group with the 70 grain Hornady CX. And that's not a horrible group, actually. It's not great at 57 yards for sure, but it's a brand spanking new barrel, so it hasn't been broken in. So it's actually not horrible, guys. That's probably 3/4 right there at 57 yards, which is probably about 1 MOA at 100. So not terrible. And then with the 75 grainers, these were my first 2 shots, which I felt really, really good about. And then I fired a 3rd shot, and guys, I don't even know where it went. Actually, I do. My 3rd shot is here. My 4th shot that I tried to follow up after that because I knew I pulled that shot. I don't know if it is in one of these holes as well or what, but I don't see it, and I am a little bit concerned because I don't know what happened. Let's go around the back of the target and see. I really only see 2 here and 1 here, so I don't know what happened to that 4th shot, you guys. I'm really concerned because it could be a massive flyer, or I don't really know. So we're gonna keep shooting this rifle, guys, because like I said, the barrel's brand new. It needs to get broken in. After seeing those first 2 shots with the 75 grainers, I think it's capable of really good groupings. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a little bit of a windage adjustment, try to bring it in to center a little bit better, and I'm gonna back up to 100 yards and we're gonna start grouping there. I am gonna put a fresh target. Actually, I'm gonna put some of these stickers on these impacts, and obviously we're gonna forget about those for the groupings going forward. All right, guys, we are back here. We're at 100 yards now, and I am going to start again with the 70 grain CX. We haven't shot the 62 grains yet, mostly because I really want to see what my groupings are at 100 yards, guys. That's, you know, the gold standard. I don't really care what they are at 57 yards. I mean, yeah, they should be tight, but guys, brand new rifle, brand new barrel, everything. It needs to be broken in. We need to be firing shots. Probably should be doing some cleanings between. We're not gonna worry about that today, you guys. I'm trying to get, you know, pretty basic raw data from this. This is just part 2 of the series. I fully intend to be doing a much more kind of intricate video. Once I have, you know, settled on a load, I plan to really work on that, see how it does, see what kind of velocities we're getting, see how it does at different distances. And so today is really just kind of get some basic data, see which ones perform best, and go from there. So like I said, 3 rounds, Hornady Super Performance 70 grain CX at 100 yards. Forgot to turn the chrono on for that first shot. Rookie mistake, guys. Let's try again. All right, 2980 feet per second. All right, guys, so 2984 on that one. From what I can see on these 70 grain, they're not grouping well at all. Terribly, actually. So I don't know what the deal is there. I'm gonna let this cool off, and we're gonna shoot 3 rounds of the 75 and see if that's grouping better. Really not impressed with the 70s so far. So that's actually fine with me because, like I said, they're the most expensive of the 3 factory load offerings that I grabbed. And to be honest, everything I read about the copper, fully copper projectile just doesn't excite me all that much. Okay guys, the barrel and suppressor has cooled. I just loaded up 3 rounds of the Hornady Black 75 grain ELD match. We're at 100 yards. Gonna see how they chrono, see how they group. .29-24 Hornady Black 75 grain. .29-31. .29-36. Guys, also not a great group. It looks like it's probably 1.5 inches or so, which is not awesome. Not gonna lie, I don't know if it's me, I don't know if it's this tripod setup I'm using. I wish I had a good bipod. It kind of sucks. But I feel good about my shots, so I'm not sure what to think, you guys. So guys, I think I'm gonna run down, patch up those holes, and let's try a group out of the 62 grain ELD VT. Still not really super impressed. Here is the 3-round group, and we're talking 1.5 inch group realistically. Not great at 100 yards. And then so this is the 75 grain ELD match, the Hornady 75 grain black, Hornady Black. And then this right here is the 3-shot group out of the 70 grain CX. And I'm telling you guys, that is a full 2-inch group. Man, I don't know. I just don't know if it's me with the little tripod thing I'm using. I think a bipod would absolutely be better. I don't know. I don't feel bad about my shots. Like, if I'm being honest, I feel pretty comfortable with the shots I'm taking. I don't feel like I'm pulling. I don't feel like they should be, you know, I feel like they should be grouping well if they're going to. So I'm going to go ahead and get these covered up with stickers. And I'm going to shoot groupings with the 62 grain ELD VT. See what happens, guys. This is not turning out the way I had hoped it would, unfortunately. I'm gonna figure out kind of from there which one I really want to run and shoot more of it, and maybe see if the rifle decides to kind of walk itself in. You know, barrels, they sometimes require, you know, a good amount of shots before they're broke in and before they're really, you know, stacking rounds. So I mean, other than that, you know, you can always reload. This is a round that would be a good one to reload for. So we'll see. I'm kind of hoping I can run one of these factory loads for now anyway, just for time savings purposes. The purpose of this rifle is kind of have it as a buddy gun, so that, you know, anyone that goes hunting, coyote hunting with me at night, can run this rifle and, you know, safely kill coyotes with it. And so I'd like it to be shooting as well as it can, and go from there. So let's go back, get set up. Let's shoot some of those 62 grainers, see how they do. We'll get some velocities out of them. I'm hoping we're going to be over 3,000 with those, because so far we have not touched 3,000 feet per second. So really want to be over 3,000 with this rifle, and I think the 62 grainers will definitely be right there. So stick around, guys. We'll be right back. Well, so far I am underwhelmed by this. And that's not to say it could just be the build, you know, it could be the barrel, it could be, who knows, it could be me. I'm not too proud to say that it's not me. I mean, all right, guys, 3 rounds of the 62 grain ELD VT Hornady V match. See if we can print a decent group. $31.78. That's what we're looking for. Much better velocity. $31.45. $31.28. And a terrible group. You guys, very, very poor. I'm not sure what to think. I think I might shoot some of these off of my Fat Boy tripod from a seated position and see if anything changes as far as grouping goes. I'm not impressed, you guys. I'm not impressed at all. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. I thought this thing would really be a tag driver. So far it's not, but we'll persevere. We'll see if we can't improve from here. It can't get a whole lot worse. Alrighty guys, this is the 3-shot group from the 62 grain ELD VT Hornady V match. Got good velocity out of it at almost 3,200 feet per second. But this is terrible, guys. That's a really bad group. I'm not even going to measure it, but I can tell you it's literally more than 3 fingers wide. So we're talking damn near 3-inch group. That's really, really poor. I'm going to try some from a seated position, like I said, with my Fat Boy tripod. I've done a lot of shooting off of that, and I'm going to see if I can't print a better group like that with all 3 rounds, all 3 loads, and go from there. Just pretty underwhelmed at this point. So I'm gonna put up a fresh target, guys, and I'm gonna start using the quadrants so we can kind of preserve the most target that we can. And yeah, I'll be back soon. Alrighty guys, we're gonna go with 3 shots of the 75 grain ELD black, match, which is the Hornady black ammo. As you can see, I'm set up completely different now. I'm in a seated position behind my Fat Boy tripod. This is the Fat Boy Elevate 2-section tripod with the Fat Boy Levitate head. And I'm using my Fat Boy side chick little device holder, I guess, if you want to call it that, to hold my Garmin in for chrono info. So we'll see if we can get some velocities now and see if we can hopefully print a better group from this seated position. I've done a lot of shooting like this, so maybe I can do it. Maybe it's me, I don't know. All I know is I'm not impressed so far with what I've printed for groups, and looking for any way to improve upon that at this point. With the lack of a bipod, it's a little tricky to get much better holds than I'm getting right now. Okay, we have a bullseye impact with a velocity of 2972.9 feet per second. Let's go ahead and fire another one. All right, that's a little bit better. 2946.7. Let's fire a 3rd shot here. 2957.9. And it does look like we've got a pretty decent group down there, guys. Still looks like about 1 MOA realistically. We'll go ahead and get a measurement on these final groups. So for that group, I did hold center of the target. The next shots I'm going to do with the 62 grainers and the 70 grainers, I'm going to pick a quadrant, and I'll be sure to let you guys know which quadrant. But that's not a terrible group, guys, from this seated position. Let me load up some 62 grains and see how those perform, and hopefully we can get some better groups with those as well. Okay, like I said, 3 shots, ELD VT, 62 grain, Hornady V match. And I'm gonna be aiming at the top left quadrant. .47.7. .17.4. And it looks like we got an impact about a ½ inch beside the last one. That's good, not terrible. Let's see what this third shot does. Okay, 3125.5 feet per second, and sort of as I suspected, that's not an awesome group. That third round is about 1.5 inches from the second round and probably about 1 inch from the first impact, so over a 1 MOA group there. So not awesome, not horrible. Definitely minute of coyote if that's what you're after. I would really like to be stacking these rounds, guys. So let's go ahead and try the 70 grain CX and see how those group. All right, 3 rounds, Hornady 70 grain CX. These are the Hornady Super Performance factory loads. And for this group, I'm gonna be firing at the bottom left quadrant. .2955 feet per second. .2980. Shots are about 3/4 of an inch apart there. Let's see what this third one does. All right, 2972. Those rounds, I think my second and third shots are touching each other, and they're both about 3/4 of an inch from the first shot. So far that's the best group I've printed at 100 yards. I'm gonna use the other 2 quadrants to print groups with the 75 grain and the 62 grain. I really don't care to buy the 70 grain stuff, so I'm really hoping I can start walking in those 75 grainers and the 62 grainers and then kind of make a decision from there. Also, I'm not super jazzed about the velocity. I really wanted over 3,000 feet per second, and the only ones I'm doing that with are the 62 grainers, which are the ones that are currently printing the worst group of all 3. So let's try to figure this out, guys. Alrighty, 3 more shots, 75 grain, Hornady black, using the ELD match projectile. Gonna be firing at the top right quadrant. 2967. .2919. Getting a lot of spread on these too, guys. Like the deviation or spread on the velocities is quite a bit. 2988. And that's not a horrible group. Probably just over 3/4. We'll go ahead and measure all these too, by the way, guys. I'll get my calipers out and get measurements. Okay, let's do a 3-shot group with the 62 grain. 3160. 3135. 3131. All right, so that wasn't a horrible group either. Respectful, I mean, it's fine. We're talking an AR. I think I'm being a little hard on this, but at the same time, I know what I can do with my Sig Cross 6.5 Creedmoor, and I know I can stack rounds with that, and I'm very, very confident and comfortable with that rifle for coyote hunting. In this case, this thing, I mean, you're gonna kill coyotes with every single one of those shots down there. It's really not that bad. So I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna measure these groups, and gonna see which one I think I'm gonna run, which I'm leaning towards the 75 grainers. And then I think I'll throw my thermal on here, get that zeroed. You guys don't need to see that, but as of right now, guys, inconclusive, I guess. Like I said, this is only part 2 of the 22 arc journey, and I think it can only get better from here. So stay tuned, guys. We're gonna go check these out, get some measurements, and then we'll get out of here. All right, guys, well, as promised, we're gonna go ahead and get these groups measured, starting with the very first one that we did on this clean target. So that's gonna be this group. This is the 75 grain Hornady ELD match. We'll go center to center. Oops, change that to inches. All right, center to center, 0.64 roughly. The second group, the next group was this one, 3 shots with the 62 grain, and the extreme spread on that is center to center, 1.425. So just under an inch and a half. We'll go to this group. This was the third group here. This was with the 70 grain Hornady CX. And this is actually a pretty decent group, you guys. That is center to center, 0.61, center to center there. Decent group. I'll measure it to this as well. Looks like we're getting 0.69 center to center there. So under 3/4 there. This is the 75 grain. Again, I did a 75 grain group. We'll check that center to center. And what do we got here? 0.72 center to center there. And then this is the last group I did with the 62 grain ELD VT. And that is 0.87 center to center there. And this is probably going to be smaller, 0.84 basically. So none of these groups are horrendous from 100 yards, but none of them are amazing. I'm probably happiest, obviously, with this out of the 75 grain. This is also the 75 grain. I think that's probably what I'm going to go with. So what I'm going to do is go get my thermal on, get that zeroed. So at least we can hunt with this rifle and maybe put some coyotes down with it. It's not a competition rig, that's for sure. And I think I want to invest in maybe a bipod. If any of you guys know of a really good bipod, or maybe not really good, but not terrible, that isn't super expensive. I know some of these bipods can get to be like $500-600. So not looking for anything like that, but if you know of something that's budget friendly, performs well, will work well on an AR, then send me a link. Drop a comment down below, guys. It kind of sucks to not feel like I'm doing my job. I think the rifle probably can print better groups maybe. I felt more comfortable seated. That's probably shows here with these groups than I did prone in the pickup. I didn't have a shooting bag and I wasn't on a bipod. So I really think that might be the reason for the poor groups, the initial groups that I did. I think that's the reason, if I'm being honest. So inconclusive, like I said, guys. We're definitely going to do more of this type of testing with this rifle. I think after I get a bipod and I remember to bring my shooting bag and lay prone, I think we'll have a lot better success. So stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you like this type of content, guys. I have a lot of content for coyote hunting specifically, but if you're into shooting sports and stuff like that, I'm hoping to do more stuff like that on the channel. So stick around, stay tuned, hit the bell for notifications, and like I said at the beginning of this video, guys, I just really appreciate your support. Glad to have you here, and any questions, comments, anything, drop them below. I read every single one of your comments, and I make sure to drop an answer to most of you. Guys, thanks again, and until next time on the Hunt, we'll see you later.